Good morning, children. Welcome back. Today we are continuing the sample paper discussion of class 12 biology. We have already begun the section B. Section B almost four questions are over, starting from 17. Okay, 17 to 25. So 17, 18, 19, 20 questions over. Now we are coming to 21st question. The first question is explain polymorphism on the basis of genetic mapping of human genome. What is polymorphism? In every human individual, the DNA genome, in a DNA genome, there are some nucleotides repeated many times. Such nucleotides or nitrogenous bases repeated many times, we call it polymorphism. So poly means different, morphism means shape or structure. Okay, so we can understand that in an individual's DNA genome, there are places where the same nitrogen bases or nucleotides are repeated many times, and this condition is called polymorphism, and that developed due to mutation. Okay, and these polymorphic genes are called repetitive DNA sequence. A repetitive DNA sequence that will be inherited to the succeeding generations. Okay, and now this polymorphism constitutes around 10% of the DNA of an individual. Polymorphic genes or repetitive DNA sequence constitute the 10% of the DNA of an individual. And how can we identify that? We can identify that we can get by simplification of the DNA of an individual. We get satellite DNA. Polymorphic DNA sequences we get as the heaps of DNA in the form of satellite DNA during centrifugation. Okay? Right. Now, what is VNTR? VNTR, variable number tandem repeats. It is also called polymorphism or repeated DNA sequence. As I told you, VNTR is a definite sequence of DNA of an individual with polymorphism or repetitive DNA sequences. As I told you, ACG, suppose it is a sequence of 3 nucleotides, and this sequence will be repeated many times. ACG, like that it is repeated many times, 50 times, 100 times, 200 times, even 1000 times. That is unique and specific for an individual. This polymorphic, repetitive sequence of an individual, we call it polymorphic DNA sequence. Otherwise, it is called variable number tandem repeats. Can be used to identify the identity of an individual. In a criminal test or any other test, DNA test, we can conduct to identify the parental identity. Okay, or in the criminal identity, we use this VNTR that constitutes around 10% of total genome, and that will be inherited to the subsequent generation. That will be used to identify the specific identity of an individual. So, variable number tandem repeat is a polymorphic DNA sequence which is used to identify the personal, identity or personal uniqueness through DNA fingerprinting test. That's all. Thank you. Now, the next one we are going to DNA segment has 150 nucleotides, out of which 14 are guanine containing nucleotides. How many pyrimidines we can say? So there are two types of nitrogen bases in human DNA. They are furin and pyrimidine. Furin and pyrimidine. Furin is double compound. There are two types of pyrimidine: adenine, thymine. Whereas pyrimidines are single ring compound. They are cytosine, guanine. Here, what is the number? Guanine is 410. Guanine is given as 410. As guanine always pair with hydrogen pairing with hydrogen bond pairing with guanine in the DNA. the number of guanine and cytosine will be equal. So it means that 410 is cytosine number, then guanine also will be 410. So it will be total 820 total. In the total number of nucleotides 1500 minus 820, you will get how many? 180, that is 680 pyrimidine purine will get. 680 purine. Of this 680, that adenine and thymine are included. So equal number of adenine and thymine. So we can half it, divide it by 2. Okay, you will get 340 adenine and 340 thymine. So this is what you have to identify. That's all. Now we are moving to the next level of question. Next question, that one is Harsha and Chase. They differentiate DNA from protein and experimentally proved that the DNA is the genetic material. And they used, in this experiment, they used 3 things. What are they? First they used bacteriophage. Bacteriophage. What are bacteriophages? Here bacteriophage is called T2 bacteriophage. You can see that the bacteriophage contains a protein coat. A bacteriophage contains a protein coat and inside there is a DNA. Okay. You can see bacteriophage. Then they used Escherichia coli, E. coli bacteria that are present in the intestine of humans. And in the first experiment they used sulfur isotope, S35 sulfur isotope. So they took a container in which they added bacteriophage, T2 bacteriophage, then Escherichia coli and S35 isotope of the sulfur. So what happens, bacteria has a property that bacteria will infect the bacteria. That's why they got the name bacteriophage. So bacteriophages are virus that infect bacteria. During the infection, they inject their DNA only to the bacteria. Protein coat remain outside the bacteria. Okay, only the DNA will be injected into the bacteria. Okay, so in this experiment, they included bacteriophage, Escherichia coli and S35. Now this S35, sulfur is a part of the protein coat and not the DNA. So you can understand that usually sulfur incorporates into the protein coat. Sulfur incorporates or enter the protein coat and become radioactivated. So sulfur enters the protein coat only and not the DNA. Sulfur is not a part of the DNA. Okay? Sulfur enters the protein coat and the protein coat become radioactivated with the sulfur. Okay? Now this condition, the bacteriophage attacked the bacteria and what happened as usual, the DNA of the bacteriophage is injected into the bacteria. So when centrifuged, after 20 minutes, when they centrifuged and separated blending experiment, they understood that none of the bacteria was radioactivated with the sulfur. It means that the sulfur is incorporated in the protein coat and the DNA was not radioactivated. Only DNA entered with the bacteria, hence the bacteria was not radioactivated with the sulfur. Okay. In the second experiment, they took one container in which they added the bacteriophage, then E. coli. Instead of S35, they used P32, phosphorus 32 isotope. So phosphorus being part of the DNA, and this phosphorus, entered into the DNA and not the protein coat. So here in this experiment, the phosphorus enter the DNA of the bacteriophage and the DNA become radioactivated with the phosphorus, not the protein coat. Now, what happens, this bacteriophage, when they infected the bacteria Escherichia coli, they normally what they do, they inject the DNA into the bacteria and protein coat remain outside. So the DNA which is labeled with phosphorus 32 is entered bacteria and bacteria multiplied. They used the bacterial DNA to multiply, and after 20 minutes, what they did, they centrifuged and blended this and separated the bacteria. And they understood that all the bacteria were made radioactive with phosphorus. It indicates that the phosphorus, the part of the DNA of this bacteriophage, they entered into the bacteria and made the entire DNA of the bacteria radioactive with sulfur. So this experiment indicates that it is this DNA that entered into the bacteria and not the sulfur, not the protein part. That's all. Thank you.